Lobster Magnet. Lobster's a 10, I told you grab it.
Welcome to
Hey.
Lobster Magnets Review, the channel, the review. I'm here with better audio. We are still on shitty Skype. I'm kind of angry that we haven't, this always happens. Someone has to go somewhere, and then we don't have time to troubleshoot better technology, so we're stuck using this shitty technology. But someday we're getting away from you, Skype. You're not going to fuck with me anymore.
Maybe this,
it's not my fault this time.
maybe this Saturday, Isaac, we can troubleshoot this.
Yeah, maybe we can mess around between our Game of Thrones session. But anyway, we are not here to talk about Game of Thrones. We are not here to bitch about technology too much. We are here to talk about
Motherfucking One Piece!
One Piece!
Yeah.
It's the name of the treasure in the Grand Line. Yayo.
Set
sail for One Piece.
Right. Can't sing. Please never do that again.
Guys, I ate an orange specifically to avoid scurvy, so I can prepare myself for the review of One Piece.
God fucking damn it.
So,
Okay, I think that's actually good enough. That might need to be a tradition. Okay, we can review One Piece while Greg slowly tries to eat a lemon.
So we're reviewing chapter 872 of One Piece. This was a very, very good chapter. Oda brought out there was that absolutely really touching scene in the beginning with his little note where he talks about how the reason why he included every Straw Hat's sort of childhood backstory is
yes.
so you could.
I love that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was
I felt like I actually said thank you, Oda, out loud after I read that.
That is everything you should be doing with world building. That is exactly right. He's doing that perfectly.
Yeah,
and it really shows.
And that was that was a wonderful. That would have been good enough alone. But then we get the awesome color spread of the motherfucking Straw Hat Pirates dressed in Germa 66 raid gear.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever specifically mentioned this before, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. I was really hoping part of the payoff of this arc was after Germa 66 got the ever-loving shit beaten out of it. Sanji was going to be able to defeat Judge and then add this clone army to the ragtag group of fucking morons that follow Luffy around.
Still happen.
In addition to Bartholomew and everything else, they'd have a clone of high-tech super soldiers wandering around doing shit in Luffy's name, and Sanji would get a custom-made raid suit that looks like a fucking suit.
like a raid armor that actually looks like a suit.
Yeah, pretty much. That is kind of what I was hoping would happen with that. Is they would just kick the shit out of Judge. Sanji would boot him the fuck out a window or something and be like, "All right, I'm in charge now. And what you guys are doing is making me a better suit, and, I don't know, whatever the fuck that moron says over there." And then Luffy tells him to go fuck off because it's Luffy, and he is terrible at giving actual orders.
That wouldn't be terrible. There's a part of me that still hopes that Sanji gets a temporary raid suit power up, and it's the most awesome experimental raid suit that has some sort of 1 minute time limit or some arbitrary constraint, and he's so incredible when he uses it. It's the coolest thing ever. But I will settle because as fun as the One Piece color spreads are, they're usually not very story centric. While this one is kind of awesome to see the Straw Hats actually take on a sort of villainous motif or just someone else's motif.
I like the idea. I like the idea of Sanji getting a power up, but I don't know if we should get it through these suits which are connected with his family. I don't know, because he has such a he hates his family so much that he just. He wants to distance himself as much as he can from him. But I do think he could have, maybe gained a new power if he was fighting his family.
Part of why I was hoping that he would get the raid suit is basically he would kick the ever-loving shit out of his father and brothers, and he would therefore, by gaining this raid suit, take symbolic control over his family. And kind of shove them on
Interesting.
and then basically shove them back on the right path by going like actually like caring about the servants, caring about the weird vat-grown super soldiers. Like, okay, you guys actually have rights now. No more of this like jump in front of a giant fucking spear for an attack, like as a shield for an attack. None of this bullshit. We're all right. Everybody, fucking calm the fuck down. You were basically like fucking Grey Worm. That shit.
Grey Worm.
Remember from Game of Thrones? Greg, you read the fucking books. You should remember Grey Worm.
Which one was that?
He's the leader of the Unsullied. He looks like Barack Obama on the TV show.
Oh, the Unsullied.
Basically do the thing where Daenerys is like, you're all free, every fucking one of you, and they're like, yay, we're free. We have no idea what to do with this. Well, I mean, you can at least keep one name. Apparently, you call yourself Grey Worm. That is a terrible name choice. But hey, you're free. I'm not gonna like harp on that too much because you picked it. You picked it.
I remember. God, that was so long ago that I read that. I've been reading.
So like that's kind of what I was hoping he would do, is like take control of the family, boot out like the shitlord assholes, put like Reiju in charge. Like, okay, you're in charge. All the fucking clone super soldiers are free. Just do whatever the fuck the captain wants. And Luffy, being Luffy, is like, I don't fucking know. Go do something important. And then they go join Bartholomew. Like, wandering around the Grand Line, selling fucking, like, selling a Straw Hat merchandise for some fucking reason.
I want to see more excerpts of that. Bartholomew, like...
point, like a year and a half later, we, like, cut back to them, and Bartholomew has, like, given every single one of the fucking, super soldiers, like, little cardboard masks of the Straw Hats to wear. And we just see like this long pause, and like Robin's like, well, that's terrifying, and then we never hear from them again.
Well, not until we get the big final war that the whole series is going to end on.
You know, I've also like been thinking about the Straw Hats. Fuck my phone.
Yeah, fuck your phone.
The Straw Hats. Bartholomew and all those other people who follow Luffy, like, they're following Luffy, but what if they're, like, it seems like they could easily, like, do, like, terrible things for Luffy in his name as well, without Luffy supervising.
I feel like that's part of the joke, is, like, he just really doesn't care. I mean, they're slowly building him up to be, like, the kind of status you need to be, like, a Yonko.
Yeah. And, like, if he's not in charge of his underlings and, like, what they do, they can, like, do some fucked up shit for, like, Luffy's name. They could, like rape and pillage a village, for Luffy's name.
Bartholomew is not going to be doing that. The worst is he'll just beat someone up who's bad.
Yeah, I mean,
he was introduced as Bartholomew the Cannibal, and he was like, oh, this is like like what Oda did with him was absolutely brilliant, because he was just like a boring generic design who's like supposed to be, oh, this is like the punk guy, and then you learn he's the greatest Luffy fanboy, and you're like, I'm totally on board. This is the best thing ever.
Yeah,
I really love Bartholomew. It's my favorite character.
Mostly I just see them kind of like fucking up and making political problems that Luffy then proceeds to fucking ignore or possibly punch. One of the two. But anyway, so my point is, like, they're slowly building him up to that status, because I'm pretty sure, like, doesn't literally every one of them have like an entire fleet, except I think Shanks. I'm pretty sure Shanks.
As far as we know, Shanks just has a crew. Every one of them, though, has like some massive, sprawling fleet of hundreds of people.
I was gonna say, I didn't think Shanks had it. I think he's like the only one that doesn't.
As far as we know, Shanks doesn't have. He could though.
God, I'm pretty sure Shanks is following the Luffy model, or he probably does. But it's like, should we do this thing, Captain? I am so hungover right now. I need more booze. I just need I just need to drink. Go away.
Well, it was always funny how like the pirate crews always seem to like break off into like two things, and like there's like the more specialized crew where you've got like a dozen people versus like the more sprawling crews where you just like maybe have like 2 or 3 commanders, and then you have like a dozens of mooks.
Yeah, like I'm still curious to see where Law falls on that, because he has a small crew, and it doesn't look like he's recruiting, but Jesus Christ, they all kind of look mooky.
Well, he's got a few signature standout guys, and then he's just got like several mooks. Although that's an interesting point though that it brings up. So just to recap the events of this thing, the Tamato thing blows up. The entire Cake Island is nearly destroyed, but is saved by the end by Struzin, who turns it into harmless material.
And Chekhov's gun finally goes off.
Yeah,
I feel so satisfied right now.
It was great.
Literally orgasm.
And it feels like it's like if this is going where I think it's going to go, it feels like we're going to get a domino series of events that's going to lead to possibly the end of Big Mom's crew.
Yeah, I'm totally willing to buy into that.
But right, Big Mom, that last page, that last panel.
Yeah, she flips her shit and eats everyone.
That's is gonna eat everyone, is what we're assuming.
Except Dogwood, because he can see the future and is probably like 3 miles away by now. And running like crazy.
Oh my god. Maybe he's gonna be like so desperate, he's gonna be like, I gotta save some of my family members, from being completely destroyed by Big Mom.
I got an appointment elsewhere, literally anywhere else, right? Oh, but fucking Big News Morgan.
He said it. He said it this chapter. Whoa, big news! It's big news. Wow, the whole thing
is so dedicated to his craft that he will, supersede the big news for his own life. He's just that committed to his motherfucking news that it doesn't matter if he risks life or limb, if he's falling off from thousands of degrees. He's gonna get that big news because he's just that dedicated. And god damn it, Big News Morgan is the best fucking side
character we've had in like at least 100 chapters.
Yeah. I cannot think of one character so minor and insignificant who has engendered so much affection out of me.
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear here. I mean, if all those characters and that fucking god-awful faux tournament arc bullshit from Dressrosa had been fucking Big News Morgan quality, I don't think I would have hated it nearly as much. Instead, we got, like, the fucking Punch King. I hate him. I don't even remember his real name. I hate him that much. I just wanted to see him die. I wanted to see him die before he could even punch anything.
What about the man with the cactus on his head whose incredible ability was picking up weapons and throwing them at people?
Cactus on his head? Which one was that?
He was like Gene the Bandit... John Benin, yeah, I'm serious. That was his fucking special ability. He picked up shit and threw it at people.
Yeah, like I said.
Oh, that was like that drunk pirate dude?
No. Here, you know what? I have it. Gene Anglo.
It was terrible.
He was really
Is that the one who threw Zoro like towards?
No.
I don't know.
Fucking Greg, here. This is the fucking
Cactus
there.
Man. Let me
there.
see.
He literally has a cactus on his head, and he picks up weapons off the floor and throws them at people. That was his fucking
if I click on this, it's going to ruin the overlays.
Okay, then don't. You'll have to look at it after.
Oh, snap. Okay. We'll look at it after.
But here's another thing I rather enjoyed was whatchamacallit, Capone Bege's exit.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was nice. He's like, I don't even have to assassinate you. You're all gonna die anyway, or you're gonna fall anyway.
Well, mission accomplished. Fuck it, I'm leaving.
Yeah, and I like the end where he's like, can you just stop thanking me? I don't want you to associate me as a good person. You dicks.
Just fuck off. All of my need for you has ended. I never want to see you again. You're fucking moron.
Yes, yeah. I love his, like, pragmatism, his sort of, like, mission accomplished. Law, who sort of, like, originally started off as, like, that, badass, bad temperament boy, but then kind of got assimilated into the Straw Hats culture.
Yeah, and Beiji's, like, to his crew that's, like, sort of growing attached to them. He's like, oh, we wanted to say goodbye. And Beiji's like, don't get overly attached to them.
No.
This isn't happening.
No, we are not getting the fucking Trafalgar Law treatment. Everybody back inside the fucking tank. Shut up, we're leaving. Before this gets any worse.
Yeah. I am loyal to my people, but I am know the true purpose of an alliance, and it's not fucking friendship. Goodbye.
Oh god, I fucking love that.
I tend to try and do a slow cal app, but I just love that moment where he's just like, fuck it, done, got everything accomplished needed, no need to stay around.
I'm, I got mixed feelings with giving Caesar back his own heart. I feel like he was such a messed up character during Punk Hazard. Like, people quickly forgot, like, how, like, evil he was.
I mean, at the same time, it's beige, so, I mean, there isn't that moral compunction to actually, like, do the right thing here. It's like, alright, we had a deal complete, here's your shit back, I'm leaving.
Yeah, and that is an interesting thing about Beige's sort of morality, in that, like, he's shown to not be a nice guy, but he keeps his word, and he, always holds that to a T. Which, like, it's interesting when you, like, sort of, like, defining an what's supposed to be an unlikable character, but, like, they become likable in the sense that, like, you can see that they're dependable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, this isn't a great comparison, but, like, Rorschach on a surface level is, like, not, like, a likable character. He's this crazed, psychopathic...
Rorschach from...
The Watchmen.
The Watchmen. Yes.
Yeah.
Just want to be clear with that.
Because he's so consistent in his, like, I'm going to break your finger to get to the truth, and because he's so convicted in his ideals, you like him in spite of all of his flaws.
Yeah.
Which is, I'd say is, like, Oda did a really good job of Beige, like, putting him, like, near the top of the supernova list, even though he was easily one of the worst ones, when he was introduced.
Yeah, so, alright. That said, I fucking hate Strussen's power.
Why do you hate Strussen's power?
That's funny that you hate it right now. Like, what about when it was first introduced? It was like we teamed up with Big Mom.
I was willing to just go with it, but now that I found out his power can't even produce food that tastes good, I'm still fucking pissed about that. Like, imagine
it doesn't taste good.
Imagine eating.
But that's only Big Mom's.
Like, okay,
that's Big Mom's opinion.
Like, I can't eat. I can't swim anymore. This is fucking terrible. And then it's like, well, hey, at least I can make food, so I never have to buy food ever again. So you're like, I'm gonna make myself some cookies, and you make cookies, and you eat it. It's like, it tastes like cardboard. I gave up my ability to swim, and I can make cookies, but they taste like cardboard. It's a terrible fucking devil fruit power. Now I'm pissed about it. Like, I'm kind of surprised that Strusen hasn't spent, like, the last, like, 15 fucking years trying to contact whatever incredible, dangerous, terrible force is responsible for these devil fruit powers and just throw a screaming bitch fit.
Scott, it just goes to show he hasn't fully mastered his devil fruit powers yet.
I don't know. He's like fucking 60 years old. He's not a young man. He's had the fucking time.
Come on. Like, he's had plenty of time. Especially,
but he's lived his life in excess, probably. Being a Big Mom pirate.
Oh, shit. He's probably trying to, like, make stuff all the time just so we can get Big Mom to stop eating people.
Well, that does bring up a good question. If Strusen, like, food tastes terrible, how is he able to keep her under control during her, like, rage fits?
Okay, I have a theory.
Like, is it just is it just sweets? I mean, I'd still be pissed about that.
Guys,
Like,
I
this is
had
a devil fruit power that is. All right, give me a sec. That is supposed to like be able to replicate anything. I gave up my ability to swim when I ate this motherfucker, and you're telling me I actually can't make like a halfway decent cake? Well, yeah, sure. I can make the fuck out of like, oh, I don't know, a pot roast. But fuck you. Sorry. Anyway, continue, Craig.
Okay, but you know, Struzen did make the wedding cake, right? He was the one behind that.
But he didn't like use his powers to make that. They got all the ingredients. We got a whole montage of like Big Mom's crew raiding all these places to get the ingredients for the wedding cake, and that's why this wedding cake was so fucking special. Because it had all these high class ingredients, and Struzen, you know, because you know, baked it and didn't just like make it out of his powers.
Yeah, that's why she's so butthurt, is because this cake was like the perfect thing she wanted. And then
should we assume that none of it was by Struzen's powers? Because I mean, why is he the head chef?
Because he likes cooking. He got into cooking. You know, he got into Big Mom's graces with his powers, and then he obviously wanted to take his like cooking game, like, you know, because he's not as much of a sleazy guy when we see him in the future. He's like, I'm the head chef. I'm the master of cooking. You know, versus when he's like, you know, hey, she ate kids. That looks interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's my theory about it. I think Struzen, maybe he was able to concentrate on his powers a little bit better with the wedding cake, and like focus in on like certain ingredients better. But if it's like a quick reactive situation, like a tower collapsing, for example, his powers aren't going to be as delicious because he has to act quickly in order to transform that.
You know what? That's an interesting like theory, and I'm willing to buy into it. Like I'm not like, this isn't headcanon for me yet, but I'll buy that. That's an interesting argument. I'm interested to see if it pans out at some point.
I mean, a whole tower is collapsing. Struzen is put on the spot. He's like, okay, I obviously can't make this the most delicious thing if I transform it into food, but I can transform it fast enough so that it won't hurt anybody.
Okay.
Well, that is what
it's like a very sloppily put together whipped cream pie.
Look, I'm still gonna call bullshit on that because there has to be at least like, there have to be people that, you know, drowned in whipped cream or were crushed to death by that like fucking sponge cake. Okay,
I totally agree with that.
I don't want to see like the aftermath where like they're slowly digging people out. And it's like, oh, no, and it's like a fucking like
my baby's drowning
video broadcast over Denden Mushi. It's like Whole Cake Island.
It's like a
tragedy.
It's like a whipped cream mudslide.
These people died in a bath of whipped cream. It's just like, we don't need food. The entire island is food.
And watch,
need money, but we do need Barry to help with the relief efforts of digging people out and removing the 60,000 tons of spoiled whipped cream.
A public health hazard.
And Big News Morgan was the first one to discover this.
No, but Big News Morgan's gonna. Well, here's the question though. Like, now we finally like entered into like the post. Like, it's really impressive how like Oda has managed to like take this big sprawling storyline and basically accomplish what he couldn't do very easily in Dressrosa, and like, you know, introduce like multiple factions with the Big Mom Pirates, Big News Morgan, which was a great win, fucking Stussy, not to mention you know, the Germa 66, and wrap it out in a very concise manner. I think you could officially say that we're in the post-arc phase.
Yeah.
Where, you know, they're going to get the Straw Hats are going to get the hell out, and the real question is, you know, to me it feels really thematically appropriate that, like, you know, Big Mom should eat her children and then she should wake up and ask where everyone went.
Oh my god,
that would be amazing.
I would love that so much.
Oh, that would be so cool.
That would be like the perfect way to end everything, because like, one, you can have like a world-shattering event where, like, you know, that feels believable. It doesn't feel believable that Luffy should be able to conquer Big Mom or her crew, but it does feel believable that Mom's inherent character flaw that, you know, no one could help her with and she couldn't help herself is what ultimately brings her down, more so than Luffy. It adds like this really bitter end to the whole saga, and it also gives a justification for, you know, how Luffy and co can escape.
Yeah, that would build like a ton of goodwill for me, because then you'd have like this splintered remains of Big Mom's crew wandering around, some of her family. Now the question is Big Mom going to be left, and she's going to be left with a reduced family, or how is that going to work?
I don't know.
Because she has like, she's a Yonko. She has the entire like island network. Is she going to go berserk enough that she's like wanders from island to island? Like, do we see her like in a fit of rage, like steering a fucking ship to the next fucking island?
I'm not sure if I could buy that. I would probably buy just her on that one island, though.
Yeah, I'd buy her like killing all of her like strongest commanders and her like, you know, core family members, and then like that weakens like the chain of command so much that because she's like a terrible leader that like someone like Blackbeard or someone else like takes over her other territory.
Yeah, I could see that. I could also see like, yeah, if she's weak enough, Blackbeard and maybe one of the other Yonko form an alliance, walk in, destroy what's left of her territory, kill her, and then split the remainder.
Yeah, that would be like another way to have like a huge world-shattering event that could lead us into like, hopefully we're gonna finally get the Reverie arc that's been promised for like, you know, 100 chapters now, where all the world governments are gonna meet up, you know, at the big summit in Mary Joyce.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Remember, ages ago, Vivi was going there with a, you know, failing health Nefertiti Cobra, and he was gonna ask him about the Void Century.
Oh man, I wonder what's gonna happen after that.
Of course, we want to know what happens after that. That's going to be like huge and major, and hopefully, I'm hoping in the transition arc of when they go to Wano that we'll get an answer to that.
Yeah.
Now, is the Void Century like common knowledge that there was a Void Century? Because like I'm wondering if they ask that question, the world government is going to be like, you know, we can't let people know about this, and we want to terminate you.
I think so.
It's not common knowledge. It's not something anyone's supposed to know about. So,
like,
but
I feel like it feels like common knowledge because once you get above a certain tier, more and more people know about it. It's like the illusion that devil fruit are common because having a devil fruit makes you powerful. And so once you start dealing with more and more powerful people, more and more people you deal with are going to have devil fruit powers.
True. And it also feels like they couldn't outright assassinate like a world leader in like, you know, an event with like 20 other world leaders that like, you know, as awful as the world government is, you know, they're still like founded on the basis of like the trust of like the core 20 countries that initially, you know, gave them their power and joined to form them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, I'm very curious to see what the fallout for Big Mom is, and oh god, I want her to eat it. Although one thing I'm a little afraid of is that like Pudding somehow uses her memory power to like, you know, stop Big Mom's rampage and like let the Straw Hats go. But you know, so far it looks like Pudding's not getting a redemption.
No, I don't think she. I think that was just like an act of like an emotional breakdown, more or less, than like redemption.
There were some subtle implications that like after her emotional breakdown that like, you know, there's a scene where like Sanji is like has Nami in her hands, and Nami looks like probably the happiest she's ever been to be in like physical contact with Sanji, and then they have like one small panel with Pudding, and then she's like looking with like, you know, you can't see her face, but she's like not looking happy, she's looking envious, like that could have been me. So like I always thought that there was going to be like, you know, oh my god, there's the candy gate and we can't get through, we're fucked, and then Pudding like pushes the button to get the candy gate open to allow the Straw Hats. That would be like her redemption. There'd be some, and that could still happen, but I'm happy that so far, you know, Pudding has been pushed aside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen Pudding actually since
Haven't seen her
way
in a while.
earlier.
Since the shit started breaking out, since Luffy jumped out of the wedding cake.
Yeah.
This is a very solid chapter. A great way to end the arc. Great way to end it, like probably the strongest arc of the New World so far.
I agree. I think this is wonderfully paced. This whole arc. What would you guys rate this chapter?
I give it like maybe a 9.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9. It's been pretty good.
It was a great. It tied up lots of ends. Like, didn't quite like. I guess a 10 would, it was like that fuck yeah moment that makes me like want to like punch my arms up in the air. And there are only like a few things that can give that to me, which is like a long running character that I want to see again returning. Like anything with Blackbeard. If Blackbeard does something, that's a fuck yeah moment for me.
Oh man, what if like Blackbeard all of a sudden showed up at the wedding too, and just like
that would be amazing. I would love that.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, what if the CP0 chick does like a Buster call for some random reason? Like
I
Buster
don't
fucking.
think a Buster call would help.
Also, can I just like really quick point this out? All right, so I'm looking at the CP0 roster list here, and I am not impressed.
Well, there's like only 3, right, so far.
There's been some more reveals, like Rob Lucy?
Rob Lucy.
Yeah, from formerly of CP9.
Oh, he's CP0 now?
Van Damme is somehow in there. Fucko that like.
Is that the guy with the iron face?
Broken face. Like, how is he even?
Oh, spam him.
I don't understand. What is the qualifying decision? Kaku, the fucking giraffe man.
Okay, so the CP9 guys upgraded to CP0.
Well,
yeah,
but
why?
like,
The last time we saw them, they just fucked up, like bad, and just got the shit beaten out of them. This is supposed to be your like promotion for fucking up that hard. I just kind of assumed that they were schmucks, and like, oh no, CP9 failed. Bring out CP0. Oh my god, it's mostly the same people. How did you get promoted? God fucking damn it.
Maybe Lucy like stepped up. Although that is kind of weird because like wasn't the whole backstory of him like the CP9 like in the cover story they like work to pay off his medical bills, and then Rob Lucy like starts training the next generation of CP9. And then he tells Spandam to go fuck himself.
I don't remember this.
All right, so apparently
it's in the cover story.
Apparently, this is like explained a little more in Film Gold, which I guess I'm gonna have to watch now.
Yeah, we all gotta watch it and do a review at some point.
All right, I'm on board with that. We can totally do that.
Oh, we should use that the rabbit thing, the rabbit TV thing to maybe watch that. I don't know.
Why don't we just use Vaughn TV like we've been doing for everything else?
Oh yeah, I guess we could do that as well.
All right, so yeah, I'm totally on board with that shit.
I think you'll like it a lot. It's not as good as Film Z, but it's better than like the usual non-approved Oda approved One Piece movies.
Oh, by the way, I rate also 9 for this chapter.
You're also a 9. You enjoyed it, Greg?
Yeah, but I'm kind of sad that the chapters like this. It feels a little bit obvious now that the story arc is winding down, and everybody's like doing their running away phase from the bad enemies. But I'm excited for what's gonna happen with Big Mom and her crew.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping. I want her to eat them so badly.
I'm really with Isaac here. I just want to see that happen, and she wakes up, and it would be that perfect cyclical culmination where it's like, Where did everybody go? I don't understand. I'm a giant cannibalistic piece of shit. and
I am an awful monster who no one could ever
Dogwood
contain.
Comes back. He's like, you ate everyone. I'm just gonna leave. And then we have a spin-off manga featuring Dogwood, and it's basically Dogtooth. And then we get a spin-off manga featuring Dogtooth, and it's basically God damn it, what the fuck is that? It's Fist of the North Star, but in One Piece.
With having his fucking jelly bean powers.
Yes.
It's funny, but Dogtooth is like kind of become like another one of like a fan favorite character. Not Big News Morgan level, but like people seem to be really loving him just because like he's like a conventional badass design, which we never get in One Piece. He seems relatively competent.
The One Piece universe, it's so fucking weird. It looks like he should like he belongs in like Fist of the North Star, or like a weird
JoJo's
or like a weird fan art version of a Berserk character. Like I keep waiting. Like, do you have a motorcycle? I bet you have a motorcycle. I bet you have like a weird turtle-powered motorcycle or something.
That would make sense.
Oh, I have to get going a little soonish. But,
okay, we're gonna end this in like a few minutes. We definitely covered a lot. It was a fun chapter. So guys, great big news! Big news. Morgan has some big news. Made 50 cents off the affiliate. The first sale. This shit worked.
Oh my god! Yeah! Yeah!
Woo! Big news. So what do you want to show today?
Something with whipped cream.
What do you think?
Whipped cream and sponge cake.
Should it be a baking set? Should it be like the Strusen, like not make shitty cakes cookbook?
Oh, I got it. Yes. We need to find out if there is a DVD or Blu-ray release of Cannibal Holocaust.
Okay. So look up there. I'm pretty sure I can find Cannibal Holocaust. If not, I'll find some other. The Green Inferno. I'm going to include both of them if I get both of them. The Green Inferno, Cannibal Holocaust, because we need to celebrate everyone's PG-13 rated cannibalistic, child-eating, family-murdering monster, Big Mom. And what better way than to watch a gory, offensive film about cannibals in the, whatchamacallit, the rainforest made by Italian people that it was so controversial because it supposedly filmed scenes of them killing animals in real life. And if not, you can watch The Green Inferno, which is Eli Roth's homage to the cannibal subgenre that nobody really does anymore.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so consume your need for human flesh in R-rated format because, God, as much as I would love to have, like, oh, God, that's the fan art we deserve. Someone, like, doing, like, an image of, like, what Oda didn't show us, of Big Mom just, like, consuming all the children.
Yes.
Screaming as their bones are crunching, and she's just like grabbing fistfuls of them and just.
I'm sure if we look hard enough, someone's gotta be working on that right now.
Come on, 4 community, don't let me down, man. You know, Big Oda handed this shit to you on a silver platter.
Oh my god, I never seen those movies you mentioned before. Have you guys seen those?
No, but I just know both of them.
Cannibal Holocaust? Yeah, I've seen it.
It's like a very famous exploitation film. God, I can't believe you've seen Cannibal Holocaust and I haven't.
Yeah, what the fuck? This is a weird reversal here.
Yeah,
I watched that back when I was in college.
This should totally be the other way around.
I know.
I think I've seen parts of it, but I don't think I haven't seen the whole thing. It's like one of those.
It's not great. Like it's standard exploitation bullshit.
I don't know. There's some people who say that it's like the purest form of cinema ever. Like, I'd have to look it up to like see what the research is in terms of like its defenders on why it's like this incredible film. But so fulfill your cannibal needs. Buy candy if you want. It helps us out if you click the link and buy candy. Buy Cannibal Holocaust. Buy anything to celebrate Big Mom is one of the most interesting One Piece characters. Oda pretty much delivered on the hype 100%. She lived up to the myth, the legend of the cannibalistic human monster. So celebrate that in the links below.
Totally.
All right.
All right, so thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, lobster has antennas, but don't you grab it.